Alongside head Javelina football coach Daren Wilkinson, I'm Mark and Sarah for Javelina Athletics. And coach, game 2 on the docket for you guys on Saturday. Sul Ross State coming in here, another 7 o'clock start. How happy have you been with the way your team has responded to last Saturday, the way they've kind of tried to take those lessons and put them into place, obviously, between now and then?
Yeah, that's always the thing, and it's kind of a deal that you always hear every Saturday when you talk, between week 1 and week 2, the most improvements have been made, and I hope that's the case. Not to take anything away from Saginaw Valley because they're a very good football team, but we gave them in a lot of ways that game with the 5 turnovers and not creating any, and some of the things that we did. If you look at the statistics, they're very equal all the way down the statistic line except for turnovers, and so that's something that we've really got to pay attention to on the offensive side. And then on the defense, we'd like to create some, and so that. And then just kind of focus, just being focused and the minute focus you need to execute a play and be perfect at it. Hopefully we get those things worked out.
I thought Trey Todd had a really good game for you guys on defense. Was really active, made a lot of big plays on defense. Was all over the field. How important are the things that he brings to your defense on a week in, week out basis?
Well, Trey's he is experienced. He played all last year and a lot of the year before. He's very mature as far as just his character, and he's such a great kid, and we trust the heck out of him to run the defense. Things go through him, and he gets people lined up, and he kind of has a nose for the ball. So he's been very good for us.
How much do you and Coach Buff rely on him? And I know it's a cliche to kind of be a coach on the field for your defense.
Well, and I think that's the nature of that position, playing middle linebacker spot. In a lot of ways, you're really, especially the front 7, you're responsible for getting everybody lined up and getting the right calls in, and he understands the defense inside and out, and he does a nice job with that.
Your offensive line play, I thought, was, for the most part, good. I think you allowed 2 sacks, and one of those I think could be classified as a coverage sack for you guys on offense. How were you happy with what you saw from your offensive line last Saturday?
We were, particularly, their number 95 was a preseason All-American, and he was a good player. I think he had both those sacks, actually. But their defensive line was as stout and as physical as probably we've seen, and we threw the ball 62 times and only got sacked twice, and so that's not bad. We wouldn't, obviously we like to not have to throw the ball 62 times in a game and be able to be a little bit more balanced. But for what we were doing and had to do on that game because of the circumstances, our offensive line played really well.
I know you want to try and get the running game going a little bit more than you did last week. You want to get Chris Barnes and Luis Lopez going. What are the things that you guys want to try and do, not just this week, but going forward the rest of the season to try and get those guys going?
Well, the biggest thing is both of them, particularly Luis, they can't press the issue. Luis fumbled twice. There's 2 of our five turnovers with Luis fumbling twice, and I think both of them were, he was just pressing the issue, trying to do a little bit more than what he needed to do, and it's a cliche, but just take what the defense gives you, let the game come to you, and don't try and force too much stuff. And I think between our quarterbacks and our running back, we definitely did that too much on Saturday.
One of the things you and I talked about before the season was your receiving core. A lot of depth, a lot of talent in that position. And a lot of those guys saw a lot of snaps on Saturday. How much of that is indicative of the way that you'd like to kind of handle the receiving core for the rest of the season? Yeah,
we got a lot of guys that can play and they can make plays. The biggest challenge they have now is they need to be more explosive. Just watching Saginaw Valley State's receivers explode off the ball and watching us be a little bit timid off the ball, I think that was a wake-up call for them to just kind of use their talent. They're a talented group. I think they rested on their laurels a little bit because they'd done so well in fall camp and they thought things were going to come easy. And again, that was a very good football team that we faced. I think they were 8-3. They just missed the playoffs by a game and 18 starters back. And so I think our guys thought they were a little better than they were at the wide receiver spot. So we're challenging them this week to really be more explosive and to attack their routes and things that get back to the basics.
How much do you think improvement in that area will lead to a lot more big plays for your offense?
And that's what we need on offense. We ran a lot of plays. I think we ran 15 more plays in Saginaw Valley, and the yardage was pretty even, which, so we weren't as explosive as they were. We need big plays on offense to, obviously to score some points. You like to score quick on certain occasions, but also just to keep the defense a little bit more balanced and on their toes a little bit.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time. We'll see you on the field. Best of luck on Saturday.
I appreciate it.